to spend in sweaty room. Before I started playing drums, it was all went back to video games really, because I played, well I say played, still play a shit ton of video games, and I came across a game called Rock Band, and that's what like initially got me to pick up a pair of sticks really, because I didn't know what I could do essentially. You know, I used to play like I'd press buttons on a fucking guitar and that, and yeah, fucking I sucked at that, so I picked up the drums, and then the next thing I was off then really. From there it was just like, I want to be a fucking drummer. I was playing on like the hardest difficulty. I think it was like Eye of the Tiger or something, you know. Fucking brilliant song, you know. Rising up, back on the street. Just a nice, straight 4/4. So yeah, it was really cool. And then I just enjoyed it. And it never even occurred to me playing an instrument at all. Like it didn't come to me, because like I don't know, I wasn't the most confident of kids, I don't think. So the idea of playing an instrument was completely like alien to me. It wouldn't even have came into my head. I just so happened to stumble on it like by by just playing Rock Band as a video game, because it was already in my circle of comfort, if you will. So I just went with that, and then it was more of the thought of like, oh my god, I can do this. I can actually do this. I'm creating this sound, even though if it's just on a screen and you've only got 4 pads and a single foot pedal, you know. It was like, I'm doing this. So I was just like, fuck yeah, and I really enjoyed it. It was like it was a feeling I've never felt before. It just flowed through me, and I loved it. So I just decided to pester my mother for ages, and you know, mommy, get me a drum kit, you know, and then eventually she did, after you know, pitter-pattering on the tables. This is my mother. Hi. I was pissing off all the teachers, like I'd be in like English class, just on you know, doing all this crap, and like, you know, I'd be getting told by you know, one of my English teachers, didn't tell me to shut the fuck up, but you know, he was definitely fucking thinking it. You know? So the only premium piece of kit that's going to be on this setup today, you know. Love myself in Apex. You know, my armory. Saying that, if it fits on this snare stand now. This is why you bring your own equipment, kids. I swear I take more time setting up when I do rehearsals than I do with actual shows. Probably because I haven't got a bloody sound engineer down me neck going, you know. My mum thought that, okay, this isn't going away anytime soon. This guy's been going on about it for ages. So what she did was, she decided before she got me a drum kit, she got me some lessons first to actually see that if I can, you know, if I'm actually serious about what I want to do. Why are all these stands about a century old? So she got me some lessons in town in Curly's Music. So went in there, and it was a drum teacher called Colin Lamont, brilliant guy, fantastic jazz drummer. Still, you know, have a pint with him a few times, like to this day. He's a lovely lad. Taught me everything that I know. So I had a few lessons by him, and then my mum bought me a drum kit. And she was like, wait till your teacher comes over to set it up. And I was like, fuck no, I'm not waiting. I've got a fucking drum kit, you know what I mean? I was all tears in my eyes when I unwrapped it. It was like a birthday present. When I first got lessons, my teacher was actually quite shocked with me because I've never been behind like a proper kit before, and he was like, bloody hell, like, how can you do them grooves? Where did you learn them from? And I went, rock band. So yeah, if anyone ever says to you, oh, don't play video games, man, they're a waste of time, don't fucking listen to them. That's fucking loud, that, isn't it? I grew up just on the outskirts of Liverpool in a little town called Maghull. It was a good place when you're a kid and stuff. You know, when I was brought up with my family and stuff, I had really good times. But for the most part, really, when I look back at it, I felt like I didn't really belong there. And I just, over time, when I grew up, I just felt like I needed to get to like the big city. This is where I had my high school ball. Back in school. I didn't get along with anybody though, to be fair. It was nice while I was there and, you know, doing things, this, that, the other, but sometimes, you know, when you just know that you need to just move on to bigger and better things, really, because there's nothing there for you. Sometimes I do like to go back there though, because obviously being in the city, everything's 300 miles an hour. I do like to go back sometimes and just for the peace and quiet. One place I do like to go to unwind is Billy's Bridge. This is the bridge. I got a roll of smoke actually. I always used to come here when I just wanted to think and just sit down. There's nobody around, you know, and you can just think, and it's really peaceful. All you're surrounded by is just nature. I mean, listen to that. It's fucking beautiful, man. I think it's time for a smoke. I feel like because of my roots, this always calls back to me, because I love like the tranquility of it all, but like at the same time, I love my neon nights and all that kind of stuff. Like I love all that. So it's a weird like duality. But when you just want to switch off, this is the kind of place I love to come to. A little doggo. Hello. It's me. It's great. So this is like the route I always used to take, just to like clear my head and stuff. Put some headphones in, just to go round there, round that bridge, come down here. It was nice. One of the first bands that like I got into playing was a band called Mr. T and the Bojangles. It was only a college band, but it was one of the first. It wasn't anything serious, just for a bit of money, you know, when you're a student and you know, you're working a part-time job, you know, you're not got much to go on financially, you know, so played a few covers. For me personally though, it was getting together with people in a room properly, performing live to an audience, getting used to that atmosphere around other musicians, and that was the whole point of them years in my career, really. Smoking roll, I'm good on smoking roll. Fast forward a few years, I was looking for bands everywhere, and I just wasn't really feeling anything. They weren't really doing what I was doing, and I was going to leave this city at one point. I actually got a message off a bass player called Pete Mansfield, and I was literally ready to move. Like, I had appointments to like view houses. Got a message off him saying, "I heard you're looking for playing a heavy metal band," and I was like, "Yeah, man, yeah, been looking for a while." And he was like, "Yeah, come down to the Dock Road in Vulcan Studios, which is where I'm sat right now. Come in, have a jam, and we'll see where it goes from there." And I was like, "You know what? Okay, I'll give it this one chance." I ended up showing up 2 hours late anyway to the first rehearsal. That was something. But we ended up like throwing some tracks out. I think the guitarist was like, Chris, he was trying to test me, you know. It was like, who's this schmuck who's like showed up like 2 hours late, you know, who the fuck are you? So he was trying to throw me off in a way. So he was just throwing riffs at me one by one. And I ended up just bashing out a bunch of shit straight back at him, like right along with it, and it ended up being like a full-blown track that we ended up recording on the album for the Midnight Prophecy. So we ended up putting together an album in Midnight Prophecy. It was our first, that was our first time in the studio. That was crazy. Then played a load of gigs. I was in Midnight for about 5-6 years. It's how we ended up coming across Craig. That's how I met Craig. And yeah, we ended up doing a lot of good shows. Some pretty big shows. We ended up playing Bloodstock on the New Blood stage, Bloodstock Festival in the UK. That was in 2018. Yeah, it was 2018. And then yeah, we wanted to go and do some more shows, some more tours. We were actually looking at getting to do album 2 in the studio, and then that was when 2020 came, and well, COVID happened, didn't it? And then, well, that all just came to an absolute stop. One of the greats, that one. Ronnie James Dio. I think it was my first shift back into my day job. I just remember getting the news right before my shift, and I was like, "You fucking what?" You know? And I was pissed off the entire day. You know, I was going through. I think I was in for like 6 or 8 hours. I think it was 8 hours. I was going through an 8-hour shift. You know, just coming around, fucking bastard, fucking. You know, I was just having a big old sulk the entire time. I was in a foul mood. Walked outside to the patio, and then I got a phone call off this guy called Tom, and he you know, he phoned me saying, "Sorry man, I'm sorry to hear about your band, dude. Do you want to join our band?" What I was thinking at that point, it was like, you know what, like it was still kind of, you know, going through COVID, and we went through a few more lockdowns at that point, but it was like, at that moment with this, it was like, you know what, I could either sit on my ass and sulk, or I could still take this other chance that I've been given to have further my career and have a fucking life. So I fucking bit his hand off, and I was like, yeah, let's fucking go. So yeah, we ended up coming together as a whole, ended up forming Tailgunner. Turns out it was one of the best decisions that I ever made, really. We released an album, it charted in multiple countries, we managed to land a deal, sell out a few shows on the first few tours that we did. About to hit Germany, which is crazy in the small amount of time that we've existed. And it just shows that like all that hard work has just paid off, really, in the long run. There's two quotes really that I always kind of like live by, and it's kind of like defined how I live, I suppose. It's like one by Lemmy and the other by Nicky Six. They may be worded a bit differently, but they basically mean the same thing. It's like the whole idea of, you know, well, if you want something bad enough, you'll just go and get it. Like nothing's impossible if you really want it. And you know, if things get tough sometimes, just keep pushing past it, and eventually it'll just sort itself out, you know. And I feel like that's like something that it really hit me, and I wanted to just, you know, without them quotes and seeing them when I was younger, I would not be doing what I'm doing right now. There's always this idea of like the whole sex, drugs and rock and roll illusion. And I think that's the right word to use. I feel like that's just what it is just an illusion. I think people always think because you're a musician, you're doing all this kind of stuff, they always feel like, you know, oh, you're out on the road, getting laid all the time, drinking loads of booze, doing loads of drugs, just full-on debauchery behaviour, you know, and like, and the music just somehow is that good. You know, it's just not how it works, man. I mean, for starters, I couldn't be, well, you know, the only thing I'm interested in is like, I'm just interested in the rock and roll. Fuck the other two, man. You know, it's like, look at the 80s and the 70s even, you know, you have amazing music going through them decades, and then it's like, you know, what if, you know, Hendrix didn't do as many drugs or heroin, you know, same with other artists, where could they be now? These are like, you know, roundhouse names, but think of what they could have been. And it's just like we should take that as a lesson, you know. In a way, these guys, you know, these guys passed away, we learned from their mistakes, but think of what they could have been. I just don't see the point, man, of like, why like this should never be more important than your product, your music, your life, you know, the shit that you write that comes from here. Focus on your music, and why would you cock something up that you've worked so fucking hard for? Why would you throw that away for something like that, you know? Stupid. Oh. To be fair though, that shit's fucking good.
I love the way you were like, why don't I throw their life away for something like this? And you just stop.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cheeky, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I suppose the real question is, how do you feel about where you are?
This will be our first time headed overseas, and a bit nervous if I'm honest, but it's going to be an experience to say the least. I'm actually happy with like how things have turned out, really, because I could have easily just gone back, done a normal job, stacking shelves, serving pints or whatever, but you know, instead I chose to actually pursue what I want to do, and it feels so right. You know, it's a bizarre feeling, but it just feels such like a natural kind of progression. And I think that's when you know that's like you're in the right place and where you want to be, and that's what you should be doing with your life. It's weird that I am where I am, but at the same time, it's like it feels like I've never been in a position in my life where I feel like I belong so much. When we go on tour, it's more like it's a weird kind of duality, because it feels like something I should have always been doing. It feels so natural, but yet surreal at the same time. It's quite difficult to explain it, because it's, you know, when you just feel like you just naturally belong somewhere, but then at the same time it's when you see them people in front of you and they love what you do, that's what's crazy to me. And you meet all these people along the road and you talk to them, and they've got so much they want to say to you, and it's crazy, because like it's mental, because for me my reality is I just serve pints on a day-to-day basis, go about my thing, have a few drinks with my friends, and then, you know, rehearse, play some drums, and then we go out on stage and then see all them people, and it's like, Jesus Christ, you guys all listen to us, and not just listen to us, they fucking love it. And it's crazy that what we've created has affected other people in so many different ways, and that's just what it's all about for me. That is like, I can't, there's no words that can explain how much that means to me. I don't know, that might be my imposter syndrome kicking in, but...
Do you find that you often have imposter syndrome when it comes to drumming?
Definitely do. It's crazy. 'Cause who would have thought, right? Who would have thought that would have ever happened? I guess like the whole point of what I'm trying to say in this video is like, if you just want something, man, just fucking go for it. It doesn't matter how like far-fetched it is, what the idea is, you know, it could be art, it could be, I don't know, fucking being a banker or whatever, I don't know. But whatever you want to do it because you want to do it. Fuck what anyone else says to you. As cliche as it sounds, it's literally how it is. It's like, you will have people, it might be your own mother, it might be your best friend, someone like, oh whatever, you know, just do this instead, oh you can't do that. Fuck them, dude. At the end of the day, you're the person who wants to do it, and we live in a world, man, where you can just go out and do it, you know? So fuck that, work hard, do what you want to do. And like so many other predecessors have said, you know, if it gets hard, it's not fucking easy, go and do it, because at the end of the day, dude, if it was easy, everyone would fucking do it. So just stay true to yourself, and nothing's impossible if you just stick at it. Just stick at what you do and believe in yourself.